Now then, so today we're running something a little different. It's a bit of mobilization siege. So in my six faction six decks, I showed off like a siege deck I was trying, and it just wasn't really working. So I went back to the drawing board a little bit, and I went with this. So general idea is I kind of thought about the core of like mobilization, running revenants and archers and all that kind of stuff. And siege kind of fits pretty nicely into that. Um, so I went about building that, making a few changes so siege would fit in, and we were basically ending up as it being like more or less diversion. So I ended up giving Bellahoon a try. So Bellahoon's an interesting one because he recently got buffed a little bit in the last patch and seems to work reasonably well. I've been pretty impressed. So because we're running quite a few like low health units, he can really it's really quite impressive like how large they can get. So Philippa gets boosted by 4. Even if you just put like Adelia into an archer, for example, he boosts Adelia by 2, Archer by 3, and straight away he's played as a 10-point card for 8. You really only need to boost a 2 power unit to 5 to get like 8 for 8 from him. And it's not like the basis of our kind of game plan, which is kind of how I tried to build this. Is we're not relying on Bellahoon, but it's an 8 provision card that really works. And the general idea is we're just looking to win round 1 with sort of a lot of the very strong options you have, getting down Revenants and like Forbidden Magic, that kind of thing. Try and get one of those going. Obviously, Carrack Marines are very nice in a round 1 because it's 7 points. Maybe use like Adelia, just get a bit more power, use Bellahoon, and then Siege will really dominate around if it isn't answered. Now, obviously, if you're going to come up against Nilfgaard quite a bit, you would think it would be a relatively bad matchup, but it's not too bad if you consider that they want to develop a lot of spies on the board, which are just prime targets for Revenants. They're nearly all diversion at the moment, so Siege is going to stick quite comfortably. You have massive round 2 pushing power because they can't answer Siege, so you can just keep developing it, even if they answer the engines that come off of Siege. It's answers that are going to be going on to some of your more important stuff, so like Revenants and your Archers. And in all honesty, I've been really impressed with this list. It's a lot better than I expected. It basically works like Revenant, but has that extra power on top, because the issue with Revenant is it can just get point slammed out, especially against monsters where you just can't set up Revenants and they just have a bit too much power and you can't really get the points down yourself to sort of take a game. In terms of the weird cards we're running, I think the only weird one is probably Sabrina Glevisig, and she's not too bad to be honest. Obviously you need to be very careful with King Bellahoon. I've not had it happen in a game, but because she's a spy, and I don't know how Bellahoon works, whether he buffs her up to 5 when she goes down, so that's just something to keep an eye on. I'll probably have to practice that one out. Uh, but I would just be careful, that's all I'm saying. But she's quite an interesting one because at the moment there's obviously a lot of things like Swarm running about, Nilfgaard go really wide, and Skellige, she's always going to find value in that matchup. And even in the traps matchup where we'd normally struggle, if you can get, Last Sage really devastating as like a finisher, if you can just have that 1 point ready to go, whether that's off a Revenant or an Archer or whatever. Um, whether this is like the most refined version, not too sure, but it's done a lot better than I expected in all honesty. This was a build that I thought would be just kind of fun, but it's actually really doing well on the ladder. So, won't go on too much. I will get into the games. Okay, who would have guessed it? Bit of, I would assume, meta breaker. I think we maybe have a bit of a rough time if we come up against. Oh, what's the name? Um, Against cloggers, but we'll have to see. I think we need a bit of power in this round because I really, really, really want to get a push on. in round 2. I think we want to mull one of these. Maybe it's even siege ladder. Yeah, we'll mull siege ladder. Okay, Philip's not bad. It's not an amazing situation because obviously we have missed like amphibious assault and things like that, but we can see what we can get done. So we're almost certainly going to need Redanian archers down. Almost certainly. Now obviously they can copy this with an informant or something. Oh, okay, so this is like a lock variant. I'd probably feel a little better that they're running Arbor Armoured rather than, I forget the name. Slave Hunters. Mainly because 2 damage off Slave Hunters just takes out armor and it's kind of sad. Also, I wanted to say apologies for not posting in like a week. I've just had a ridiculously busy week of work and things like that, so I haven't been able to upload or anything. But yeah, it is what it is. Alright, we'll play Revenant. Maybe should have played it last turn actually, just thinking about it. I don't know, then they just copy it with Informant, don't they? And it's just really sad. See if they have the 2 damage for it. Fair enough. Fair enough. So I reckon we maybe go for Philippa because we really, really want this round. Kind of unfortunate, but yeah, we'll kill the informant. Kind of have the choice of like either that or the emissary here. Yep, hunting pack is absolutely fine. So, do we chuck down a war chariot or not? I think we maybe just go Kerak Marine here. It's pretty non-committal. And if there isn't any sort of options, oh, that's a big boy. That is a big boy. We may just have to pass this round, unfortunately. We do have the option of dropping the other Redanian archer, which I think is actually reasonable. No, we'll hold the charge. Let's see what they do. Can't say I'm surprised. Can't say I am surprised. I mean, that's a very lucky pull. Very, very lucky pull. So let's say we use leader here. Leader will play for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, puts us at 35. Still down by 20. Yeah, I mean, I think we just have to pass, don't we? Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I mean, Joachim was always going to be an issue. It's just a problem that, you know, they've been able to, like, set up basically the dream for them, because now they get a bit of a dry pass, which really isn't what we want to be dealing with. Bellahoon's fine. Maybe drop Forbidden Magic. Drop you as well. Okay, I guess we're keeping this. Yep, and then they pass on us. So probably just drop the Ballista, because I think Revenant is maybe what we're gonna, go for with Adelia. Try and get Bellahoon set up, something like that. I would really like to see AA though. AA to get down like a Donamir or like a Reynard would be really, really nice. Really, really nice. But I think we should be fine. If we can. Right. Okay. I don't actually think there's anything we could possibly ask for here. So I'm kind of fine with that. I am kind of fine with this. Going Bellahoon kind of makes sense. Getting Donamir down does, but this probably just gets either purified or inverted. I think we just go Bellahoon. Safe enough to do, I think. If the seat's like an Invo or something, we're very happy. Interesting. Well, I'll say interesting. Maybe go straight into Adelia here. Siege also kind of makes sense. Okay, we might as well get Siege going. Didn't have an instant answer to this, and I mean, if they commit like hard removal into Bellahoon, we're kind of happy. Usurper, okay. That one is fine with me. That one is absolutely fine with me, so we'll just go Adelia into a Rev. This should be okay. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. Obviously, this isn't an amazing round to have Bellahoon, but it's put enough fear into them that they're basically looking to poison this away, which I'm completely fine with. Just need to be careful with what we leave them with for like the last few rounds. Yeah, Vigo's gonna cause a problem for a minute. So we can just ping that one away. And another thing to note with this is you can really easily get crew pockets set up. I think we wait on it though, we'll just get the Revenant down. Just because we really want access to being able to ping away spies and things like that. We're going to get a lot of value out of these Revenants. We do risk over swarming, but I think we should be okay. Should be okay. I actually should have played this Revenant here, just so this has a crew pocket, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we can go Natalis into AA, into a Ballista, which I think makes the most sense. Into a Trebuchet, sorry. I think that makes the most sense here. Does it? I think we kill Ronvid first, for sure. Go Natalis into an AA, into a Trebuchet. I think we may be in an okay situation, to be honest. So what I'm considering here is we're kind of waiting for the whole Cantarella nonsense before we start messing about with Okay. Oh, I was going to say we'll wait for Donomir to cover up spies and things like that, but here we are. Of course. Of course. I mean, in fairness, they had a lot of good options in hand. So the tallest units, usurper. Well, I mean, that's okay. We have a crew pocket here. So we probably want to uncover the back row, I would imagine. And of course it doesn't set anything else for us up, but okay, we'll get rid of the spy. They obviously have a coup onto Roderick, which is a little sad, but what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about with Donomir and all that fun stuff. Works for me. It works for me. Okay. It's really risky to go for a bit of magic here, but I think it's correct. Hopefully front, thank you. And we'll just, I mean, we could honestly kill Roderick here if we wanted. I think we actually do. And no. No, because I don't think that's ever their coup target. Yeah, this is kind of why. Okay. So the way we're going to play this is we'll put Donomir on the front row. So then their only coup target is like either like a Revenant or Cantarella, and we don't have anything we're like really sad about them taking. Oh no, Cantarella's going to pull Battle Prep, so we definitely don't care. Oh, we just chill out for now. Because if they kill Cantarella, we just okay. So they had the coup the whole time, which is obviously very fun. But we can very, very nicely deny it just by filling the row. And with this being the last card coup onto Cantarella will just play. Yep, it's fine. Have they got any golds left? Okay. Yeah, that one's really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. But yeah, if we had a better round one, I think we had a better chance there. But it's fair enough. I think that's fair enough. Alright, Blaze of Glory. This is a matchup where we really wish we had a guy whose name I've completely forgotten. Vincent. But okay, Bellahoon could do work in round one. We'll really have to see. Obviously, Yuga. We've also been getting like really lucky drawing Siege, because that is something to watch out for, obviously. This hand's really heavy. Maybe drop the War Chariot. Okay. Yeah, so we'll go Bellahoon. and we'll actually buff him off. Might as well when we're playing second. Might as well take advantage of Crystal Skull. That's going up, boys. You know it's serious. You know it's serious. Delirium. I mean, okay. This is probably not a typical list then, I would imagine. You know, just throwing that one out there. We could just go for a Karat Marine here. Because they obviously don't have, like, hard removal for it. I'm gonna put that at 7. And if they use, like, even more removal on this, then, like, okay. I still don't actually know what the interaction with Ronvid is. Whether that's really something. This is kind of why I'm including Bellahoon. Like, he has potential to be really good, and sometimes we'll just eat removal for, like, literally no reason. So yeah, we'll go Ronvid. I just wanted to know how the interaction worked with Ronvid and Bellahoon, whether he'd boost himself to 10. I'm really curious about that one. But them using the leader here is, like, perfect. I mean, shit, we could even pass now if we wanted to. I don't think we will, but it is obviously an option. Could also Philippa, but that feels like a massive overcommitment, to be honest. Don't really want to play the ballistas. I think the choices here are either like Philippa or pass, to be honest. I think we maybe say, okay, you've played out your leader. What else have you got? Yeah, okay. I'll just take a pass on 7 there. I will happily trade off the fact that they've used their leader. Because now we have one very, very scary removal option out the window. I don't know why you'd use it. Why you would, when you're playing on red coin as well. Just advice for people, like round 1, you really don't want to be committing that hard. You don't need to be winning this round 1 as Skellige. You obviously want to, but the whole point of wanting to win the round as Skellige is to get that last save for your leader ability. So if you're using your leader ability like beforehand, it kind of doesn't make sense. So we can set up Revenants. We just need to get some units in a nice position. And since they're playing like long ships, I think we won't have trouble. Interesting. I think we don't risk this and we just fill up that away. I mean, it's quite a big use of Philippa there, but I think we just don't take the risk. Because now they have a much more awkward deck to deal with. Really weird list. Blaze of Glory with Ceres, but no like kind of activator for it. It seems very, very weird. So I'm assuming they're going to buff this up to like 4, so then we can bring this down to 2, and then Forbidden Magic. Which is exactly what's happening. And then they may have a what's the word? War of Clans. But then we cross that bridge when we come to it. Obviously they have a pass here as well, but we just don't get the points if we don't start developing early. Vabion for Stunning Blow, yeah. Because ultimately that's just giving me another Forbidden Magic target. So I think we're fine with that. So Reynard is probably the option here, just because it puts us comfortably ahead, a card up. We still have the option to go a bit of magic, obviously. And if one sticks, then we have the option for Glassivig. I think now is the time we need to be considering if we're using Siege this round. So War Chariot gets both uses here. I mean, okay. So what do we do here? Siege keeps us ahead. I just worry about our power in the later rounds if we do that. I don't think we reasonably can get away with using Siege. We'll chuck this on the melee row. And I just realised I said chuck this on the melee row, thinking like, yeah, we'll move light longship there, and still just played this here anyway. I think in my head I said melee, and so I chucked that there. Scoia'tael. Okay. Just set up so if we do want to go for Sabrina, we do have like a damage ping on the board for it. I think we're in the position now where we can't play Siege, so we just really pray that we don't get down to that point. Oh, iced. Fun. I mean, I guess it does mean we can go Glassivig onto this row. You also need to die. Like, before it's their turn. Because Bleeding will pop it on this row. So for that reason, we need to A it out. Probably just an archer. So, alright, this is risky, but I think it's correct. Because then we can do this. And they have the pass if they want it. Yeah. But considering the situation, I'm very, very happy with that. Our draws are going to be make or break here for sure. We really need to be hitting like Trebuchet. Siege Ladder, Archers or Revenant. Right, Archer's good, Revenant's good, Boiling Oil not so much. Alright, so which do we like more? We maybe stick with this. It means we don't get to complete that, but I mean we do still have decent stuff to draw into. I think we drop the Revenant. Alright, so we can finish Siege now. Get these set up, and Siege should just be enough points. But we shall see, obviously, we shall see. If they can't answer these archers as well, we'll get a lot of points, because that's 2 points a turn if these aren't answered. Okay. We can kill a greatsword if that's their choice. Okay. So we'll use the charges off this one. I mean, we'll maybe just use, because these are going to be hitting the back row. We won't be able to set up a crew pocket for these. Oh, okay. Get some unlucky ping from Harold there, but okay, interesting, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Some interesting text in there, but wasn't too different to the usual list. You know, we saw Iced, we saw Harold, we saw the Blood Eagle. So yeah, looks like it can compete, especially in short rounds where our engines are getting huge value. So not too bad of a list. Not too bad of a list at all, to be honest.